going on, poor fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we're going to be previewing round 15, Port Adelaide versus Sydney. This Saturday twilight at 4:05pm. The Adelaide Oval, a home game. Back at it after a good win against the Gold Coast Swans. Sydney off to a high after losing to Hawthorn a week before. It's going to be a very challenging game on Saturday for both sides. Both in the top 8. Port Adelaide probably looking to cement a spot in the 8 and also push for a top 4 position. Sydney will be trying to hang on to their top 8 spot because they've had a pretty damn good start to the year. But just dropping off a little bit. Port Adelaide will be looking for a top 8 scalp as well. So a lot riding on this one for both teams. Let's get straight into it and preview this game. Well, it's an interesting one. Both teams, they've got a little bit of a question mark on them at the moment. And as I said in the intro, Port Adelaide looking for a top 4 spot. Haven't gotten any credibility really of beating a top 8 side other than Richmond this year. And Sydney, well, they've been pushing along nicely. A little bit of a surprise packet for this year with their great young brigade that they have, and also just, you know, after a pretty dismal 2020 season, they had shown glimpses, and this year they've come out firing, gotten to round 15, sitting 6th position, and they'll be looking to get another scalp here. And Port Adelaide at the Adelaide Oval is a scalp for them, and you know, they've got a tough run coming up, and I think if they can pull this one off, they'll definitely have a lot more confidence going into the next few games. And look, after losing to Hawthorn, coming off a bye, they've refreshed. They'll be angry. They'll be hungry as well, and a bit of motivation behind this one. And again, they've been hurt by the COVID bubble. Really, this thing doesn't seem to be going away, and it keeps affecting this season at this stage. And they've been hubbing in Melbourne the last couple of days, and will be doing so until Saturday's game, where they'll fly in, fly out. That is the reason the game has changed from 7:10 to 4:05pm on Saturday. I'm a little bit disappointed now because I can't go to the game, and that's just my own selfish ventures there. But in saying that, just a little bit to touch on this whole fixture changes and time slots. I really feel like flying out straight after a game is not going to make much difference of flying out first thing the next morning. They're going to be doing plenty of tests. They're going to be plenty of protocols they're following, and they're going to be strict, and Sydney will do it right by them, and I have no doubt everything will go as smoothly as everyone wants it to. And it just not only affects us as fans, but also media outlets and stuff like that. The schedules for people don't line up with some games, and that's fair enough. But a few of us had this one penciled in. Now that's been brought forward, a lot of us won't be able to go to a game or go to the game this week. And whilst I've been reading some comments, and we're grateful that footy is still going and still ticking along, and we can attend wherever possible, I think at the same time it's starting to get a little bit I don't know what the word is, but definitely Not right. I don't think it's right that we're waiting till the Wednesday of a game to change the time slot and change so many plans for different people, and we're changing fixtures. I think if you're going to be doing this, to get this done early, or don't change it at all. The protocols are going to be followed, and I don't see why a 7:10 game, even bring it forward 20 minutes to a 6:50 game on a Saturday night, is going to make any difference at all. They would fly home, they would get in on time, and I just find it a little bit disappointing that this is where we're at the moment, and we can't adapt to the situation quicker, and we don't even know round 16 fixture for next week. We don't even know when we're playing Hawthorn at the moment. So for that, it's a little bit disappointing. I know we're trying to get the season going, and it's a lot bigger than, well, in the NFL eyes, it's a lot bigger than fans, even though we're the major stakeholder of this company and of this sport in general, and we follow everything that is done by us, and every protocol for us as fans, that we are making sure that these games can go ahead, we can go attend wherever possible. But I think at the same time, the right thing's got to be done. If you can lock in a fixture, lock it in. Be adaptable. Be on the front foot instead of waiting. It's a bit disappointing in that aspect that we're still in this position, and it's kind of amateurish that we can't adjust to any circumstances happening, especially now with the whole COVID situation in New South Wales. We know that's not going to be right for a couple of weeks. Sydney and GWS should be hubbing somewhere for 2 to 3 weeks, get their games going, and I know it's unfair for them and their fans, but it's just the situation And especially, I feel sorry for their fans because they've been a big part of the season. We've had SCG games there because of the Victorian outbreaks, and now it's their turn to get it. And I think Victoria have got to be viable here as well. They've got to be showing a little bit leniency the way New South Wales worked. We've got to work together in all these situations for fixturing and adjusting games. And whilst I've accepted that this game's going to be at 4:05 p.m, I think in the future, definitely some of the demands can be a little bit lenient, especially for a team that's been, closely watched. They're following protocols. They're getting tested regularly, and there's always a negative test. And if there is a positive, then that's it. But at the end of the day, we're not changing a time slot for 3 hours earlier is not going to make a difference in a COVID situation. So that's just my opinion on that matter, and I know I've blabbered along a bit, but that it's just disappointing and a little bit frustrating for some people. But at the end of the day, footy's still going and we can still enjoy our team's play.
Thanks, Vossi. I'm very happy to be up here announcing that Dylan Williams will be the 197th player to play for Port Adelaide.
On to a positive note. Port Adelaide have got a debutant this week. Dylan Williams, draft pick of 23 in the 2019 draft, is now going to be number 23 on Saturday for Port Adelaide against Sydney, playing his first game of footy after a big bag of 6 goals last week in the SANFL against Sturt. He's been in great form the last month, and it's good to see that he's getting a reward for effort for that, and he will be replacing Robbie Gray, who Robbie has been working closely with Dylan over the course of the last couple of seasons, and it's definitely exciting to see such a young talent, a prospect that we've definitely, all of us fans have been talking about and know of the name, and great to see a Williams back on the AFL team, and I think it's just great to see that a youngster's getting rewarded for effort. Ken, with his selection, could have easily gone down the old Woodcock path or throw up something different, and he's definitely done the right thing here, rewarded someone for effort, and that's the way selection should be. So congratulations, Dylan. I wish him all the best on Saturday because I'm very much looking forward to seeing what he can produce up in the forward line with Charlie and the Connor Rosie down there as well, Motlop, and Marshall's back as well. That's the other thing. Marshall comes in, Pete Laddams goes out. That is a selection I very much question, but it was the structure we had against Geelong. So we'll have to wait and see how that one pans out, and I hope it works. Now, Lockie Jones as well comes out, and Hamish Hart, who was the med sub on the weekend and replaced Robbie Gray on the field, he will stay in, and Lockie Jones comes out. So to repeat that, Marshall, Hartlett, and the debutant Williams comes in, Jones, Laddams, and Robbie Gray going out. Robbie Gray, 8 weeks out. He'll probably trying to return a little bit quicker than that, but we'll have to wait and see. So all the best to Robbie for his recovery. And that's basically selection for this week. It's going to be tight. It's going to be interesting, this one. And I do feel like our defence is going to be on for us to make sure that we can keep up with what is a pretty mobile forward line for Sydney. They've got the big bud. He's going to be prolific down there. You've got Heaney, you've got Papley, all the smalls. They very much work together and very dangerous. And then you go into the midfield. Ollie Florent's been in great form. Kennedy's in there, and Luke Parker, and they're just prolific with the way they move the ball. They've got their young guns and Gordon. Their whole brigade is just a very exciting team to watch, Sydney, and they can jump us this one. And I really think our start is going to be crucial. If we can stick with them, break even, or even be ahead by a couple of goals at quarter time, then I think that's a big win for us, and a 4-quarter performance is needed. We're just waiting for that one game, and it's this one. I really feel like this one could be the one where we break out, have the full 4-quarter performance we've been looking for all year, and we take it to a top 8 team. And I know you'd probably consider Port Adelaide more of a top 8 team than Sydney, but Sydney are attacking side. They're very dangerous. They can get you when you're off by even 10%. And I really hope that we bring our A game this week. After a very comfortable and enjoyable, dominant performance against the Suns, this is the one where we have to target and make sure that we take our opportunities, utilise what our great assets that we've got. And I think Charlie Dixon dominated Sydney last year at the Adelaide Oval, and I think again this is going to be one game for him. He has to stand up again and kick a few goals and get on the scoreboard and be prolific. And someone else has to be a bit more creative around the contest now that Robbie Gray's out. So where that Connor Rosie continues his form, the debutant Williams surprises us. Or one of the originals that are in there, Power Pepper, stand up. And then Boak, Wines, Drew will put in the good efforts, and Houston around there with his skill. And we're just got to be skillful around Sydney. They can attack really well, and they can get you on the counter attack too. So that's something we'll probably definitely be focusing on. It is at home. We have a pretty good record at home this year, but against top 8 teams, it's been 1-2. So it's questionable, but this is the one, I think. We're definitely more of a top 8 side than Sydney are. But who knows? Who knows? We've been bound for disappointment on these types of games before. And Aliir plays against his old side for the first time after leaving Sydney last year. So he's got a big job, and I think he might take one of the big tall keys down there in Buddy Franklin. I reckon the manoeuvre there, he could definitely keep up with him. He can run off Buddy, I think, and because Buddy's a bit slower now. He's not as prolific as what he was, but and if we can keep them to contested work and make them slow their play up going inside 50, Aliir is going to munch on a lot of high balls, and our defence should lock them down pretty well, and I think we match up okay. So it'll be interesting to see. We just got to be on from the outset. A tip for me, well, I'm tipping Port Adelaide by 17 points. I think a 3-goal win might be coming our way this week, and it'll be a high-scoring affair. It could be a bit slippery. The weather's a bit questionable at the moment. I don't know if you're living in Adelaide, but it depends what happens on Saturday. If it does drizzle a little bit, it'll be a hard-fought contest, and I think our contested area might be something to watch in that aspect. Ollie Wine's been in terrific form, as we know. If they shut him down, we've got our backups in Boak and Drew, and Power Pepper can go in there, and I think Connor Rosie's skillful and will be pretty good in the wet. So if it is raining, that'll be a few options to look at. But other than that, if it's sunny, if it's good conditions, I think we'll comfortably set the tone. Well, Port fans, that is my preview for round 15. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking for this one. It's going to be a tight contest, as I said. I'm looking forward to it, though. I'm going to miss the first half due to playing footy, but the second half I'll be riding at home. Still disappointed. I can't attend this week's game, but nonetheless, we've got still a few more to go, so looking forward to that for the rest of the year. So make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content coming your way for the rest of 2021. My name is Anthony, and as always, can the pair.